Number 15, On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Jay kind of nailed why this movie's where it is. The first half sucks. It's probably the worst out of anything Bond has ever done. Probably the worst. The first half just sucks. It's so boring.
That fight scene.
There's like 2 fight scenes, and the first one is very poorly edited, and the second one is over in like a second.
It's like a 2-year-old, like cut and pasted different fights.
Yeah. Like, what is Superman punching people? Like, come on.
No. Like, what is Goku fighting people out here? Like,
does everything need to echo?
20 years. Yeah.
No, it's terrible. Second half though, fucking baller. That is some of the best things that Bond has ever done. George Lazenby isn't great. Like, maybe given time he would have been better.
He's not even an actor.
He's not even.
He wasn't even an actor. He was a model that just bullshit his way into acting, which means he's an actor.
Yeah.
Because he was able to trick
them into hiring him.
Both top producers.
Into hiring him. But he did nail the action. He knew how to fight. He knew how to rumble.
He did.
So the second half is like all action. So he just nailed it. All the action in the second half is absolutely solid.
The only thing I will say, and this also goes for what I said, is that it was good, but the whole like, maybe this crowd will discourage them. Come on, Bond. When is the last time that a crowd has discouraged the villains from chasing you?
I mean, what else are you gonna do at that point, though?
But he was losing his shit. He was like walking around. He was like losing his shit.
He was scared.
He was losing his goddamn mind.
He was scared.
And I mean,
which I kind of liked.
And that showed the whole vulnerability side of him, which played out later in the movie.
And it worked in this movie.
It did. Any other Bond movie, I would say, was awful. But it did work. It worked in this movie.
It was the first time Bond has ever been scared, and that brought a little bit of depth to his character.
It brought a little like, I'm a man.
Yeah.
Like I have like full needs and full desires and full scares.
So I think if Lazenby had stayed for one more Bond movie, if he'd done Diamonds Are Forever instead, I think those two would have been excellent. And it's really a shame that we got such a wasted opportunity. But the second half of On Her Majesty's Secret Service is some of the best stuff Bond has ever done, especially that ending. That might be one of my favorite Bond endings of all time. This movie would be so much higher if the first half didn't suck so bad.
Except if he was wearing a kilt.
Oh, God.
That kilt brings it down.
Yeah, but the kilt brings it down.
The kilt.
So, I love
Sir Hilary Brandt.
Love the second half of this movie. The first half.
That kilt killed me.
Yep.
It killed me. The kilt killed me. My number 15. I'm going to go ahead and say The World Is Not Enough on this one. I ranked this a little bit higher in my list because after seeing it, you do get a really intricate design of Bond. I mean, you have him with Elektra. He really seems to care for Elektra. And I just felt like it was kind of one of those things where it was like a poor man's sympathy to the point where, like, I really, really, really like you. I really want to protect you, you know. It's not even just my job. I just really think you're the bee's knees, and I really want to protect you. And then, you know, Christmas Jones comes along, and, you know, he kind of forgets about her. She goes cuckoo, and, you know, the whole story unfolds. But I felt like this was a, you know, average Bond film. You know, this is pretty much dead even in the set. I thought it was pretty good. You know, it could have been better. Could have had more interaction between Renard and Bond. But I mean, it wasn't necessarily a bad film by any means. I mean, you had some good scenes. You had a good video game come out of the whole series.
That's a good video.
I mean, it was an okay video game. I didn't know what to do on the level when he, you know, takes a hold of the chains and rides the bomb through in the during the Renard chase.
Right.
I didn't think it was that bad, but I didn't think it was that good.
Right. Number 14, Thunderball. I know, I kind of feel bad about putting this one so low. It's a classic. But the main problem with this movie is the last, like, final battle. It's so fucking long. Oh my god, it's like, I think it's only like 10 minutes of underwater fighting, but it feels like a half an hour, and it's just like, wrap it up. God damn. Like, we get it. They're fighting underwater and killing each other. We get it. We don't need to see anymore. Stop. Just please stop. So, that is really the only reason. Thunderball is a solid movie, but that final battle is just too damn long. And And that's all I have to say about it. I love Thunderball.
All right, I respect. My number 14, Spectre. I put Spectre at number 14 precisely because, you know, it was an average run-of-the-mill Bond film. There was so much hype going into it, you know. I have to be honest with you, I read most of the screenplay when Sony got hacked. I read most of it. I knew kind of what was going to happen for the most part. I couldn't help myself. I as a Bond fanatic, I could not help myself. It was one of those things where I saw screenplay leaked, boom, on it. I tried for like 2 hours to contain myself, and I was like, nope, Googling that right now. It was a curse. It really was. And I don't know. The first 2/3, phenomenal. My only caveat with the first 2/3 is that they are naming Monica Bellucci. Was that her name?
I think so.
They named her the Bond girl, which she is nowhere near the Bond girl.
2 scenes.
She's in there for 2 scenes, and yet they classify her as the Bond girl. When the fuck has that happened? When has that happened? You might as well name whatever her name is in Thunderball.
Pat.
Pat.
Yeah, Pat's the Bond girl to Thunderball.
Yeah, Pat's the Bond girl of Thunderball.
She's
not
more
Domino.
scenes than Monica Bellucci.
Like, come on. You cannot name that she is the Bond girl. That really, really ticked me off. And seeing it a second time only solidified that. And she
was really pointless in the whole.
She was. It was a very awkward scene.
Mm-hmm.
They were exchanging information while like this close to each other, just ready to lock lips. It was weird. It was an awkward scene. I saw it with my parents for the second time. I said you might not want to see this. But I mean, it was a good film. The car chase, pretty bland.
I like the car chase. I like the car chase.
For car chase, it was bland, but they started bringing back the old comic roots of Bond, where, you know, he's pushing that Italian guy through and his car goes up to like 80 miles an hour. That's funny. That's really funny. But other than that, you know, I mean, Frank Sinatra playing, loved that. I thought that was funny. It was funny quirks, and it made a good charm. But the last third, it was just building and building and building, and then just went straight down, like the stock market crash of 2008. It was just awful. And it was just like, I understand that they're trying to reinvent things, you know, Blofeld's dad raising Bond for 2 years in the mountains, like a big, beastly, wild man. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I mean, it works, doesn't ruin anything else, but you're ruining everything else.
It could have been done better.
It could have been done so much better. And, like, the fact that Blofeld got captured,
I was okay with that.
I felt like if he wasn't captured, you know, if he was just, you know, crawling away, and then when Bond comes, he's just gone.
Maybe if he escaped at the end. Like, he got captured and then he escapes somehow.
But they already did that with Silva.
It's true.
They already did that with Silva, where he escaped, you know, he infiltrated everything. And I felt like they could have gone a new route. They could have, you know, been leading the audience on with him just being like, oh, I'm a limp gimp. But then at the end, just gone. Because that's Blofeld. Yeah. He is so mysterious. He really is.
The ending of Spectre sucks balls.
It really does. It's a very big letdown, and I really wish they would have changed that after the screenplay got released, but they didn't. And you know, I walked away feeling
unsatisfied,
and quite honestly gypped of my $15 ticket and my $15 movie popcorn and pop, which would have been $30 total.
Number 13, Dr. No. Now, I know a lot of people are kind of shocked at this one, but, you know, I like Dr. No. I like all the movies from here on up a lot. And it's just a really solid movie. It's a detective story, and it's really simple, but that's really good in some aspects, but it doesn't go big. So, Dr. No gets number 13, just because it's not super big. But whatever.
I respect that. Number 13 for me was, I'm sorry, Stacey, Octopussy. I put Octopussy at number 13. I know. I'm sorry. Comments, kill me.
Actually, most people say you put it too high.
Too high?
Yeah, most people don't like Octopussy.
I put Octopussy number 13 because I liked everything about it. I loved everything about it. Except I felt like that the side villain overshadowed the actual villain. I felt that, the normal villain, I felt like he was whatever. He was, like, Mr. Bond's a very rare breed. I'm gonna hunt him. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really intricate. But I felt that, the crazy, insane look that man had when he was crushing the dice, I thought that, like, the side villain overshadowed the main villain. And to me, that was why I put this at number 13.
All right. Number 12, License to Kill. Bond versus the Cartel. License to Kill was the revenge movie we deserved. This is what Diamonds Are Forever and Quantum of Solace should have been. Apart from it gets a little slow, like during the third quarter of the movie, but whatever. The rest of the movie is just so freaking solid. Bond just going revenge crazy on these guys. He doesn't take down this organization. He convinces the leader of this organization to take his own organization down. It's really brilliant, actually. Timothy Dalton is awesome. So, yeah, License to Kill, solid fucking movie.
Number 12 for me, License to Kill. I have License to Kill at number 12 simply because of the fact that Stacy just acknowledged. I thought that it was definitely the revenge story that we have been craving, that we really didn't get with the first two Bond films of Diamonds Are Forever and Quantum of Solace, even though Quantum of Solace came later. I just felt like, it was a really solid revenge story. Sanchez was phenomenal. He's motivated by so much loyalty, more so than money. And I felt like it was great. It was a great Bond film, but it wasn't anything spectacular. And that's kind of why I put it like right at the dead middle. I felt like Timothy Dalton did an excellent job, but it just kind of, it didn't stand out, it didn't lack. It was just a solid, straight Bond film to me.
Alright. Number 11, Tomorrow Never Dies. Tomorrow Never Dies doesn't blow my mind. Tomorrow Never Dies is a very paint-by-numbers Bond movie. But hey, they did it well. Everything worked just fine. It didn't blow my mind. It wasn't anything super special, but it was a lot of fun. And I really liked Terry Hatcher as a Bond girl. I mean, yeah, she wasn't in much of it, but... Also, Dr. Kaufman.
Dr. Kaufman, I wish he was in more.
He should have been in so much more. One scene.
Should have been in more than
wasted, but he was just awesome.
He should have been like a Jaws.
Yeah.
Really should have been. Number 11 for me, Live and Let Die. I brought Live and Let Die up to number 11 simply because, it's Roger Moore's first take on trying to be Bond. I gave him a little leeway in this film. I loved Jane Seymour. I thought she was a beautiful, beautiful female. She still is. Go look her up right now. She's still beautiful. Does those commercials for K or something like that?
Yeah,
K, right? Something like that. But I mean, I loved the whole two-phase between Dr. Kananga and Mr. Big. I loved that. I thought that was like pre-Silva, before Skyfall even came to be. I thought that was really ingenious because no Bond film had ever done something like that before. I thought that was really cool, the unmasking of everything. And I also thought that every single side character, Whisper, Tee-Hee,
Baron Samedi.
I don't know how I could have forgotten. I felt like all three of those were the best side villains of any Bond film. Those three alone, though, not enough to boost it up to, top 5.
Top 10.
Top 10, top 5, whatever. But I felt like, they were so prominent in the movies that they really stuck with you. They really reminisced.
That's true.
And that's why I put it at number 11.